I'm so excited to have you back for another fun and quick project. These crochet, I know they look knit, but these crochet ear warmers are absolutely amazing for this cold season. Today I'm going to be working this stitch in between. So these are two different sizes here, and this one starts with 30 stitches, this one starts with 36, and today I'm going to work one in 34 and see where we end up. The thing I love about this pattern is it's completely flexible. Today I'll be using the Swish worsted weight yarn in the color copper. I think it goes really well with these, and you'll need about 2 skeins per ear warmer. You'll also need a size H crochet hook. This is the Furl Streamline. This is a 5mm. And then you'll want a stitch marker for sure because we're working in the round continuous. A yarn needle to weave in those ends and do this twisted front. And of course, a pair of scissors. So let's go ahead and get started. So this twisted ear warmer is a really fun, easy, and customizable ear warmer. Like I said, I'm going to start this one by chaining 34 just to kind of look at the difference of what a couple stitches can do for the width of this. But you can even make this for a child if you want it thinner and you can chain less. But this is worked as a tube in the round so that we can get this knit look stitch effect. So be sure to, when you chain, fold it in half, and that will be the height essentially of your ear warmer. So what we're going to be working this in a tube all the way around, and then this is where we join. So when you chain, this is what we're creating when you fold that chain in half. So now that I have chained 34 stitches without twisting my chains, I am going to single crochet in the round. So I'm going to start by single crocheting into that very first chain, and I'm going to single crochet all the way around for 34 stitches. Now after chaining the 34 stitches, it is time for us to start working in the established stitch pattern. So this is a stitch pattern we will use throughout this ear warmer. We're going to work into our very first stitch as a split single crochet. I'm going to work into this one, and then it'll get a little bit easier for you to see on the next one. So this is also known as a waistcoat stitch, and we'll talk more about that on the next one. I just want to get through this one so we can mark it. I don't want you to forget to mark your stitches to know the beginning of the round. And if you want to, for this very first one, you can always mark the front of it and leave it, because we'll be able to tell where the first round of our pattern is, because it will go straight up vertical and we can just follow that stitch line. The next stitch I'm going to single crochet into the back loop only, and that is our pattern repeat. So it's a split single crochet and then a single crochet in the back loop only. To do a split single crochet, we're going to look at the stitch construction. The front of the stitch has a V and the back of the stitch has an upside down V. When we enter the stitch for a split single crochet, we're going to split that single crochet. We're going to go right in the center of it, right in between that V, and on the back we'll be coming out through the center of that upside down V. Then we're going to yarn over, pull up a loop, and it's super critical you pull this loop up high enough. If you're having difficulties working the stitch, that's probably the culprit. You need to make sure you take your time to pull it up, matching the loop on your hook and giving it extra space. That way it's easy to work into on the next round, and where we are entering our stitch a bit lower than we normally do since we're going through that V, we need to pull it up a bit higher so that it gives it the proper space to be the proper height. So we're going to continue to do that repeat all the way around. So we'll do a split single crochet and then a single crochet into the back loop only, a split single crochet and a single crochet into the back loop only, and then we're going to keep repeating that all the way around. Now that I've made it back around, I just want to show you another round so you can see how this will work up. So in the first stitch, I'll do a split single crochet, and in the second, a single crochet in the back loop only. We did not join. We're working this continuous. It will become a tube. And every single time you work a stitch, if you're confused what stitch should be next, just look at the stitch in the round below. If it is a single crochet in the back loop only, then you will single crochet in the back loop only. If it is a split single crochet, then we are going to split single crochet. So this is a really relaxing repeat. This is all you need to know to create the fabric for this ear warmer. So continue to work this until it has the length you need to fit around your head. I find about 18 inches from start to finish works well for me. It sometimes depends on the yarn. Now be really conscious of what style of yarn you chose to use. The Swish worsted weight, this is a 100% Superwash super squishy yarn. So it has a lot of squish and flexibility. If you happen to substitute with a yarn that might be a bit stiffer, you might need to add a little bit more to it. And then if you're doing it for a young child or a teenager, depending on their head size, you may want to do a bit less. But I like to do mine about 18 inches. And once I've worked this up to be 18 inches, we'll come on back. Now, after I've worked this stitch pattern for approximately 74 rounds for the adult size, and the way I test this is I simply wrap it around my head and make sure that it touches, but I do want it to have to stretch. I don't want to make it so loose that it's just going to fall off my head. So the next thing we will do is we will fasten off with a long tail. Now here comes the fun and easy part with joining this. I like to make sure that my stitches run straight across. If I need to kind of rotate that a bit, I do. You can block it at this point if you want. But what I will be doing in order to do like the twisted ear warmer is I'll take this side and I'm going to place it into the C shape. And then I'm going to take this side and do a backwards C shape on this side. And then we're going to be joining those. So the top of this C will go in the center of your left C and wrap around. So we've got the one side going like this and one side going like this. And we are going to be stitching these all together. Once it's all stitched together, when we flip it around, we've got that beautiful twist. So grab your yarn needle and we're going to be stitching this. Now you want to be working through all the layers here. You want to catch all the layers, but also remember that this side, it might seem a bit messy at first, but it's going to be on the side we don't see. We'll flip it to the wrong side, so it's not too big of a deal if it looks a little bit messy on this side. This isn't the side that we're trying to make perfect. This is simply the side that we are sewing through all the layers to get them together in that shape so that it adds a twist to the other side. Now once you've worked across all the edges, you can double check to make sure that you've grabbed everything with your stitches by simply flipping this around and making sure it's what you want, that you've sewn it how you like, that nothing is popping out, that it's all really nicely sewn together, and then it is finished. You can fasten off your yarn and wear it. I hope you really enjoyed this tutorial and you join me again soon for your next project, and be sure to hit that subscribe button.